Everybody, welcome back to the Bitch and Brainstorm Podcast. I'm here with my friend Samantha. I'm going to let Samantha tell you more about who she is and what she does, and also tell us what the heck is keeping her stuck. I've known Samantha for a long time, so we're going to get down and dirty in this. I just can feel it in my bones. So, Samantha, tell everybody about who you are.
So I am a board certified music therapist and I have owned Boise Music Therapy Company for 13 years. And last year I opened up Every Brain is Different, where we do parent consultation. So I work with families who are raising neurodivergent kids. So the kids who have autism, ADHD, OCD, any of those kind of neurodivergent diagnoses. And while I was doing music therapy and behavioral therapy, I noticed that the families that maybe didn't have the diagnosis yet, or they had just got the diagnosis and they didn't have a lot of kids that are neurodivergent get Medicaid funding for therapies like occupational therapy, behavioral therapy, all those different therapies. And I noticed that the parents that needed the most support were the ones who maybe didn't have that funding yet and they had no idea what to do with their kid. And so I started offering parent consultation services. So that's what Every Brain is Different does. We also have a podcast called Every Brain is Different, and we just talk about positive parenting strategies. I really think that using positive parenting strategies instead of traditional parenting can help improve your relationship between parent and child. So we teach positive parenting strategies, understanding neurodivergence, and also managing your own self-regulation because if you're flying off the handle all the time, then your kid is going to fly off the handle all the time. And so that's what we help with. I have a program, group program, all of that. If you really want individual stuff, I do that too. The problem is I'm not getting anyone signed up. So,
Hey,
um, music therapy, behavioral therapy, that's going great. Everyone comes from Medicaid. I'm on a Medicaid list. They send them my way. But the parent consultation is a little bit harder because I refuse to accept Medicaid rates, what they pay. It's like $8 an hour, and I'm not doing that. So it might be a little more. They just raised it. But yeah. And then if parents don't come, then you can't bill for that and they don't let you do it online. And so it's just a mess. Um, so that's why I'm doing private pay for parent consultation. And I'm not saying that's why people aren't coming. I don't know how to get it like what I offer out there in a way that resonates with people. And I think part of that is I'm so busy doing music therapy right now that I want to do this and I really want to, but I keep thinking whenever someone doesn't sign up, I'm like, oh, good, because I don't have time. But I do have time. I just am afraid that I'm not going to have time if too many people sign up, you know?
oh,
Yeah. So that's what, or also like, who am I to do parent consultation? That's the other thing is, like that imposter syndrome. But I feel like I'm pretty like qualified considering I'm neurodivergent. I have three neurodivergent kids. I've worked with neurodivergent people for how old am I? 20 years.
Mhm.
And so I feel like the imposter syndrome is just creeping in, like, who are you? Because I don't have, well, I do have all the fancy letters behind my name too. So I don't know what my problem
I don't know what your problem is, Samantha.
is.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay.
Started out with a story here because you are not the first person that has ever done this. Okay. So there was a gal that back during COVID was had written a book and wanted to launch a program that kind of correlated to the book. We did the whole launch thing, did a live class, live webinar, whatever, and nobody signed up. And you know what she said? I'm really glad nobody signed up because I didn't really want to do it.
Oh,
I
wow.
said, then why are we doing this? Because it's not really deep down inside what she wanted to do. here's what happened. Other people told her that this is what she should do. So she was saying, this is what I want to do, not because she really wanted to do it, but it was because she didn't quite see that there's another way. So what I said to her instead was, what happens when, so she was doing hypnotherapy and was offering, like, she's like, oh, I could help people in like 8 sessions. I'm like, okay, but then what? Like, people are just cured forever? Well, no. I'm like, okay, so then maybe what if there's an ascension program of some sort, a maintenance program of some sort where, you start out strong and you are, you're helping people with the thing to stop smoking, for example, right? You work with them through hypnotherapy to get them to stop smoking and they stop smoking, great. But then guess what happens? Sometimes a regression happens. And so what they really need is that ongoing support. So instead of offering a group program into something that you don't want to do, just take the people that you already have and just offer them a longer package to work with you. And guess what happened? All the people that were working with her were like, okay, because already had the know, like, trust factor. So the thing that I'm wondering is, because if I were in a position where I had neurodivergent children, which I don't know what that's like, I'm probably, and I think I've told you, I'm probably very undiagnosed ADHD, right?
Yeah.
But if I were having behavioral or any sorts of challenges with my kid, would I think that I needed to change my parenting or would I think I need to fix my kid? So, is there the potential that they may not realize that they are the solution? They are also the problem because we don't want to think that it's us,
Yeah.
but it is, right? They probably have no idea how their behavior is impacting their child's behavior and vice versa. So I'm wondering if we could maybe brainstorm some ideas around how can we get parents to feel like it's not their fault, but instead empower them with this is not your fault, and also you can fix this. Not that you can fix them, that's not the issue, but you can fix the meltdowns. You can fix or be better equipped to handle the meltdowns or whatever it is that they're going through.
Yeah.
So, what sorts of things do you hear parents say when they are on their child just got diagnosed or they've been on the struggle bus and now they finally have an answer? What are they saying? Like, what are the things that they need that you see that they need?
They're very overwhelmed.
Okay.
So they don't know what to do because they're just overwhelmed and they want the meltdowns to stop. They want the not eating, like being a picky eater, to stop. When I did behavioral therapy at my previous job, I would have parents come in and say, just fix my kid. I just want them to be fixed. And I'm like, well, we can't fix your kid.
Right.
So, but that's honestly what I heard the most was we would try and do family training to tell the parents what they could do. And they're like, I don't care about any of that. I just want you to fix my kid.
Right.
And then they would see that their kid was acting different for them than they were acting for us.
Mm-hmm.
But they were so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, why is he doing that for you, but he won't do it for me?
Yep.
I'm like, because it's what we're
Yeah.
doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, um, have you ever heard the term sell them what they want and give them what they need?
Yes.
So basically, in a nutshell, this is another example, prime example. Um, a client of mine helped people with emotional eating. Nobody is Googling how to stop emotional eating because they don't know that they have a problem with emotional eating. They're searching, how do I lose weight?
Yeah.
So she does not talk about, she was not promoting um, emotional eating. She was talking about to never go on a diet again. That was right. So then when someone would sign up with her, they were like, "Okay, where's my meal plan? Where's my She's like, "No, that's not what we're doing. Like I'm going to show you a way to never go on a diet again, but it's like a whole different like you're training them in a whole different way." So instead of saying, "I'm going to teach you how to parent," I'm going to teach you instead to manage this.
Mm-hmm.
So it may, because maybe there's a feeling of I'm an inadequate parent if I need parent coaching. Maybe that's not what we need to call this because maybe it feels like they're in the wrong, they're doing something wrong. They, and nobody wants to point the fingers at themselves and they're going to feel like, oh, it's my fault that my kid has autism or something like that, right? We don't
Yeah.
want that. So what if we connected with them on a whole different level? That this is not parent coaching. Maybe we call it something completely different, where this is now um like learning how to navigate this uncharted territory. And you've said before, I helped you have peace in your home.
Mm-hmm.
So if we take the focus off of the parent thinking that but you are training them, but without them feeling like they're being trained.
Yeah. I think that would resonate more with parents.
Okay. So how could we word that in a way that would put, if we take the word parenting out, we're not calling yourself a parent coach anymore. How would you tell people what you do without saying parent coaching?
Um, I would say I help stop the meltdowns is what the goal is.
Hmm.
Um, and then just because that's what I hear from parents the most. Like, my child is naughty. They do this, they do that, and they're just not doing what I want them to do. So, like, have better behavior, stopping the meltdowns, less yelling, um, a more regulated child. But I think that's kind of getting into more like jargon speak when I
Yeah.
say self-regulated
Yeah.
and regulated
Hmm.
child.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, but just something along those lines. I'm not quite sure how to word that though.
Yeah. There's definitely something in there. There's definitely something in there. And I wonder if this was maybe like I don't know why this is coming up. I don't even know if it makes sense, but like a family strategist. And I don't think that's the right word either, right? But it's
Mm-hmm.
like creating strategies for when this happens. Like, but again, it's not putting the pressure on the parents, but it's like, here are the tools that you need in order to have a peaceful home.
Yeah, that's something to think about.
Yeah,
But
right?
I just don't know the right words. But I like
Yeah,
where you're going because parents might feel like they're not the problem. And I'm not saying parents are the problem. They
right,
honestly, like, when parents get the diagnosis with their kid, they're like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
right.
And so, but they also, like, for years, for generations, people have said if your child acts this way, that means that they're a brat or that means that they're this. And I'm trying to show parents like that's not what it means.
Yeah,
It's there's a reason behind what they're doing.
yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Um, I I feel like there's something really like out there that we're not seeing yet. And I think that it's okay to investigate a little bit more before we
Yeah.
come up with a permanent thing. But I think we're on the right path of not making parents feel, if I just feel like parent coaching just feels they're they may feel like it, I don't have to change.
Yeah.
My child is the one who has the problem. It's not me.
Yeah.
So, or like uh back in the day, like a really long time ago, so long ago, when my daughter was a baby. So she is now 27. So this would be like 26 years ago. I got like WIC, right, from the state, right? And in order to get WIC, you had to go to a parenting class because it made you feel like you weren't a good enough parent if you needed extra support to get milk and cheese and peanut butter, right? So I wonder if there's a stigma around this idea of parenting classes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're a bad parent if you need a parenting class. Because when my kids were being teenagers and testing the boundaries in all the ways, I was not searching how to be a better parent. I was searching, I need a support group. That's what I felt like I
Yeah.
needed. I needed a support group for moms with teenagers because I needed a place to go vent about my kid and what the F do I do?
Yeah. And that's kind of what I want. Well, that is what I want the group to be, is just a
Mhm.
support group where parents can come and say, hey, my kid is doing this and I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
Or just like, my kid is doing this and I just need to know that he's not the only one.
And that they're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. hmm But that's like literally what I remember posting on Facebook and saying, I need a support group for parents of teenage girls.
Yeah.
Just wait. Just wait till she becomes a teenager girl. Let me just tell you
Yeah.
right now.
That's gonna be
A whole
fun.
nother beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, okay. So then thinking about the way that you have your program structured, do you think that the lessons and all of this stuff is in alignment? Because I feel like maybe you might want to tweak it a little. Again, it's give them what they want, sell them what they want, give them what they need. So maybe there's ways we can reword some of the syllabus that you have
Yeah.
to make it about the kid, not about their maybe feeling inadequate or whatever, right? So maybe we need to just restructure that a little bit. And maybe we could put some of your stuff into ChatGPT and ask it to give some feedback on if we were to restructure this without putting it on parents and focusing more on the child and improving behavior and eliminating overwhelm, support group, etc. What would it change? Might be a good
Mm-hmm.
place to start just to see if there's something that maybe we're not thinking about,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
you know?
Yeah.
Um, because I really think that if we can just change the language a little bit and not make it about the parents,
Yeah, that makes sense.
make it about the kid.
Yeah.
hmm hmm
Especially because what I've noticed too is that parents who have neurodivergent kids and neurotypical kids, so kids without a diagnosis, will be like, well, this works with my neurotypical kid. So obviously
Yeah.
it's my neurodivergent kid that's the problem.
Mm.
I've heard that before too.
Yeah.
So
Not that
yeah,
they're just completely different identities and that,
yeah, yeah. But it's hard. It's hard when you have let's say you only have two kids and one
Mhm.
of them is neurotypical and one of them is neurodivergent, then that's what you're going to think. Well, my
Right,
parenting worked with that one. Why isn't it working with this one?
right.
Even though you can't parent any kid the same way. But
No. Yeah.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that's good to think about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about time. So when you said, I'm worried that I'm not going to have enough time, what does that mean?
Um, so I'm just worried that like my music therapy clients will, my work with my music therapy clients will suffer, or I won't have as much time with my kids, or like my kids have a lot of appointments. They have a lot of therapy appointments, they have a lot of doctor's appointments. So just making sure that I carve out that time for the clients that are coming from parent coaching. Like I want to give them my best.
Mhm.
And so just worried about like mental capacity and like physical capacity
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
get everything done.
Yeah. So is it your intention or goal at some point to reduce your working in the music therapy company, or do you want to continue that? Like keeping the company and having everybody else running it for you so that you can focus on this, or is it your goal to do both? What do you kind of see as the overall long-term goal for this?
I want to keep some music therapy clients because I
Okay.
love, love, love my music therapy clients, but I don't love that I don't have any flexibility. Like I have very little flexibility with when I see them. And so, like, if my kids need something, then I just have to cancel the session, and that's not fair
Mhm.
to the client, you know? So, I do feel like really guilty about that. So, I would say I don't want to take on any more music therapy clients, and so I just want to work with the ones I have right now. And then as they end, I'm not taking new ones
Mhm.
unless, like, ultimately, I would like to work 1 day a week with music therapy
Okay.
clients. And then the rest of the week, I would have free for my family and for the parent
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that's my goal. Right now, I'm working like 2.5 days,
Mhm.
doing music therapy, but I am not willing to give up any of my clients right now because I love them.
Okay.
And I don't have anyone that would take them anyway. I don't have a music therapist to take them, so that doesn't even
Yeah.
that's not even a thing.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, but I want to keep doing music therapy because that is my favorite thing to do. It's just not conducive
Hmm.
with my family to do it like 5 days a week, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do see a true need
Hmm.
for supporting parents who are new to a diagnosis because they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
Um, I asked the doctor about resources after my son got diagnosed, and she's like, he doesn't need anything. And I work in the field. And so I can't even imagine if like she said that to a parent who didn't work in the field, you know?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So curious, because I don't know. Is are your music therapy clients, are there are those parents, could you be working with the parents at the same time and like combining the appointment in any way or
I don't think I would combine the appointment, but like I do parent training during music therapy. Like at the end of the session, I'll be like, "Hey, we worked on this. This is how you can support them at home. This is what you can do when I'm not here." But it's not super in depth about other behaviors other than things that are focused on their goals.
yeah.
But there are music therapy clients that I have done parent consulting with.
Mm-hmm.
And we've just done that separate from music therapy. And
Yeah.
so there definitely are some parents who would benefit from that
Yeah.
parent consulting, but not at the same time as music therapy, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if there's like, because you had said there's nobody was signing up for any of your stuff. And I'm wondering,
Mm.
have you talked to any of your music therapy clients about this program, this offer that you have?
I have to some, definitely not all, but
Hmm.
I have to some.
And what has been their response?
They're like, "Oh, that would be great." And some of them were in my beta program,
Hmm.
but no one has been interested in continuing
Okay.
past the beta program.
Okay. So, did you get any feedback around what?
Yeah,
Yeah, what did they say?
they didn't like live calls.
Okay.
Because they wanted to do it with their significant other,
Okay.
but they couldn't come together and then have someone watch their kid when, like it's in the middle of the day on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And so they said that pre-recorded calls would be better and they could just do it when they want and then have live support,
Hmm.
but offer it like once or twice a month or something. So
Yeah.
it's not all
Hmm.
the time.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
wonder if live support could look like shooting you a Marco Polo message
Yeah. Yeah.
or a Voxer or something like that, or sending you a Facebook message DM when things are like, oh my God, we are in the middle of chaos right now. And they need that person to go to and just kind of like, okay, so remember what our tools are,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so without live calls, how are you able to then provide them with feedback and support and giving them that one-on-one attention?
Oh, I could totally do Marco Polo or a Voxer. That
Yeah,
would actually work better because then I wouldn't have to be on a live call.
right.
And so if my kids, specialists, when specialists call, you go. It That's just what you do. And
Mm-hmm.
so I wouldn't have to be like, well, now I have to cancel the call because my kid has a rheumatology appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I like that.
Okay.
And I think it would be better because they could do it in the moment and I could have specific hours when I would respond,
Mm-hmm.
but it wouldn't be me having to show up, them having to show up and having us be available at the same time and they could get the support in the moment when they need it,
Yeah,
which is huge.
right.
So, yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay. A tantrum tamer.
Yeah. Ooh, I like it. I like it.
You know how I am
That's
with
awesome.
these stinking alliterations, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so then, was there any feedback about why they didn't want to continue in the beta, with the program through the beta?
I honestly think I fire hosed them with too much information and they were just overwhelmed and they said they
Okay.
needed to digest it
Yeah.
before moving forward.
Yeah. We're really good at that, right? We
Yeah,
like to
yeah,
overwhelm people with information because we know all the things.
yeah,
So maybe is this 8 week program, could this be spread out longer,
yeah.
maybe shorter chunks of time instead of, were you doing like a 1 hour
Yeah,
call?
we were doing an hour a week for 8 weeks.
Hmm.
And so I think I just put way too much information
Okay.
in those 8 weeks.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's too much information in those 8 weeks. So my plan is to do little mini trainings.
Yeah.
And because every week we go over a self-regulation skill, understanding neurodivergence, and also a positive parenting skill.
Hmm.
So instead of doing that every week, I would just break those up. And so one video focuses on parent regulation, one video focuses on understanding neurodivergence, one video focuses on s- positive parenting.
Hmm.
Um, so I think that's how I'd break it up and do it over a longer period of time
Hmm.
than just the 8 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder, I wonder if, I don't know. I have zero expertise in this area, so I could be way off. I could be way off. But what is coming to the surface is the add-in method
Hmm.
where you start out with, I'm just going to use um, emotional eating as an example. So you're not going on a diet, but the first week, all you do is drink water. With every meal, all day long, all you're doing is building the habit of drinking water. And then the next week, you add in water, plus now you add in protein. You have protein with
Hmm.
every meal. Then the next week, you have your water, your protein. Now all you add in vegetable with every meal. And you keep going through this add-in method so that it doesn't feel restrictive. It's more about kind of weaning off the treats and the sweets because if you're having water and meat and vegetables and fruit and all of the things with every meal, you don't really have room for the chocolate cake
Yeah.
because you know that's really what I want, right? So,
Yeah.
but I'm wondering, is that where are the skills you teach buildable?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So I love the idea of breaking it up into smaller bite-sized chunks. And I also love the idea of utilizing the CRM to, like, if we put your membership on a drip, so like
Hmm.
basically what that means is that it would automatically send them an email that there's new material for them to go consume. And then with the app, they can also access that content in the communities so that they have access on the go. Um, and maybe, um, helping them figure out, okay, when, like making the plan of when are you going to take the time to do this so that it's just not another course sitting in your
Yeah.
computer that you're never going to do.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like if if while they are in the course, the program, they have access to you through Marco Polo, which then you get to choose when you're going to respond, right?
Yeah.
So like for 16 weeks, and then they could, part of that maintenance program is where they can continue to communicate with you for X amount of dollars a month to support them as they're continuing through the journey and putting the tools in practice they may need support in reinforcing, or they may have forgotten one of the tools.
Yeah. I like this.
Because I think there's also the one-on-one element that people really love. They love having that attention where they get, like, their problems are they always feel like it's unique and it's not happening to anyone else,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So this gives them a way to kind of talk about and vent about the struggles that they're going through, but then having that personalized solution, even though it's the same thing you told Sally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, hey, go watch this video in the whatever I discussed this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Giving them
Yeah.
those resources and tools.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's awesome.
Because I mean, what would that look like to have parents feel like they have that somebody to call when they need that support? Because
Yeah.
do they have that right now? Besides calling their girlfriend or calling their mother or
Yeah.
calling, grandma. I'm gonna call grandma. I don't know, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who are they getting support from?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. And then I think you could utilize and, let your music therapy clients know, hey, I'm adding this service and it's X amount of dollars extra.
Okay. Yeah. No,
And
that's good.
I mean, if you wanted to, you could even go the group route and have a group Marco Polo. We've had that before.
Yeah.
And how did that, I mean, you had all the support from
Yeah.
multiple people. Like, we got your back. We know what you're going through.
Yeah. I like that.
Hmm.
So,
And then nobody has to sit on Zoom and worry about getting a babysitter
hmm.
or whatever.
Yeah. I think I like that more than the weekly Zoom call.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So now, how are you feeling now?
a lot better about this.
Do we have some clarity?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
So what are the things that you are like, okay, moving forward, I'm going to do this.
I'm going to change up the course, the videos, so they have the three different things. And then I was going to just let people like watch the videos whenever they wanted, but I think I'm gonna drip it out like you were talking about so that they don't overwhelm themselves and then just give up.
Right.
So they have to take their time and digest stuff before just watching it all and trying to change everything.
Mhm. And put it into
Um,
practice.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then change the website so that it says like Voxer support or Marco Polo support instead of the weekly meetings. And then I think have people have the option of being in a group. If they want to be in a group Marco Polo, I will have that. But
Mhm.
if they would rather just be individual, because I know like
Yeah.
group things, you can get so many notifications and can't keep up, and then it's just
Yep.
really frustrating.
Yep.
So if that can be an option, if they want to be in the group, they can be,
Mhm.
or they can just be individual. Um, yeah, I think those are the two things I'm going to focus on, other than changing the name to not have parenting in it and not call myself a parent consultant, but I don't know what words to use right now, but thinking about that more.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else that you are feeling stuck with or anything else you want to talk through?
I don't think so. I think this has been awesome. So,
Hey.
yeah, I think this is great.
Okay. All right. So unless you have anything else, then consider yourself brainstormed.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in. And hopefully, maybe you heard something in here that would be helpful for you in your own business. But stay tuned for next week and be sure to connect with Samantha if you think she could be of support to you because has, she does an amazing job. She does an
Thank you.
amazing job. I can vouch for her. Okay. All right,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.